The estimates are in, and it's going to be a record year for Uncle Sam. The White House predicting the federal government will rake in, get this, $3 trillion in tax revenue this fiscal year. That's definitely a new high. Meantime, this keeps heading to new highs, too. John, proof we don't have a taxing problem, we have a spending problem.
We've got a massive spending problem. Look, we could have $30 trillion a year come into our government. We would find a way to spend $50 trillion. It's exploded over the last 30 years, except for a brief respite during Bill Clinton's years. And then you had during President Obama took off. It's gone straight through the roof. This isn't about increasing revenue. We need a revenue around a certain 17 to 19% of GDP. This is about the fact that we have promised free pizza and ice cream to everybody. We don't want to cut anything, so all we can do is let's just raise taxes on everybody. That's the only answer that this Congress and administration has.
And Jammu, is this proof really that it's spending that's the problem, not taxes? We don't need more taxes. We've got record numbers coming in.
Well, Brenda, I mean, our government outlays are actually not that far off from historical trends. From 1940 to 2000, from 1940 to 2012, government outlays were what, 20.6% of GDP, and 2012 it was 22.8%. We're not that far off, and taxing isn't the problem either because we actually have gone down as a percentage of our GDP. So yeah, many years ago when I was a kid, movies cost $5 and now they cost $10. That record isn't really meaning anything.
Okay, Tracy,
so
take
crazy.
her on.
It's so crazy on so many levels. Okay, first of all, we're benefiting from low interest rates right now. That might be part of the reason why that number's down. You watch when interest rates start to go up, how our monthly interest bill goes through the roof. That is going to cripple this country, first of all. And second of all, you find me one person that does a happy dance come tax time, that doesn't owe more and more every year. Sit down and do your tax return. You can't believe how much money we give to the government, and we don't get any of it back in the benefits that we're supposed to see from it. Raising taxes is not the issue here.
She's a tax accountant, so she knows all about those numbers. Gary B., you know about numbers too. What do you think? Is this proof that we got to cut spending, not raise taxes?
Brenda, there's just so many points I could address in this, but let me address the first one, which you alluded to in the first segment. It's that government is inherently wasteful. I mean, I mentioned the $17 billion a year in Medicare. Expand that across almost every department, Social Security, food stamps, et cetera, et cetera. First of all, you got that much waste. But we didn't need to look no further, Brenda, than the Obamacare website. In the time it took to fight and win World War II, we spent $100 million on a website that doesn't work. Are you trying to tell me the government needs more money to waste on these cockamamie projects? I don't think so.
Okay, well, Jonas, you've often said that we need a little balance. We need some taxes raised and some spending cut. Does this change your mind at all?
If anything, it shows we're on a fairly good path. I wouldn't say our problem's over, but over the last few years, revenues have come up for the government, and discretionary spending, when we have control over it, has been going down. Not as much as it probably could, but certainly enough to put us on a path of solvency, which we were not on.
But the debt is going up, though, Jonas. The debt is still going up.
Well, you know, these things are going to go up every year. The debt, the spending, the amount of tax revenue, just because of inflation. Our economy gets better every year. It should produce more tax revenue other than during a recession like we had a few years ago. Now, it doesn't mean, look, some of the spending's plenty bad, and we're still on a dangerous path with the entitlement programs, but an accountant doesn't care how dumb I am with my money. They want to know if I'm spending, how much I bring in, and that is a direction we could go on if we make a few tweaks. Now, I will say, if we don't continue to cut the spending, we're not done raising taxes, because we're not going to ever meet there in the middle.
Okay, John, say hello to Jonas. Tell him what he's got wrong.
You could cut discretionary spending 80%. And we still have a deficit problem. We have to deal with entitlements at some point, and we can't deal with that. And what Tracy says about interest rates is 100% true. Interest rates go up. We will not be able to service our debt and be able to pay one soldier, put one light on in the White House, Pentagon, anything else. We have got to get spending under control, and we don't have a politician with a backbone enough to do that anywhere in D.C.
That's it. That's the last word.